Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Hope Dealer Podcast with Dr. Brian Hooten here at our office in North Dallas. Recently named the best new podcast of 2024, done at 5340 Beltline Road in Dallas, Texas. So if you ever run across another podcast done at this address, just know we have the best one done here ever. Thank you, guys. Couldn't do it without you two. Seizures, acid reflux, and supplements. What the heck? What a show. That's like gumbo all put together, and then we're going to stir it up and eat it, and it should taste really good. If you have seizures or if you know somebody with or dealing with them, you do not want to miss this. I'll make really good sense of it. Same with acid reflux, and then we're going to talk supplements. So recently we have this young lady named Gigi. Hi, Gigi. I hope you see this podcast. I'm not going to use her real name because she's a teenager, but Gigi came in with seizures and she was having 15 to 20 a day. They had a monitor on her wrist that was transmitting whenever she would go into this, what do you call a quiet seizure. And if the family did not take drastic measures really quick, it would turn into a big grandma seizure. And this was this girl's life for a year and a half, 2 years, dealing with seizures, taking medication, still having seizures. Because when this happens, obviously, you run off to the doctor, and what are they going to give you? Medication. So instead of looking at why she was having seizures, the doctors just said, oh, yeah, there's evidence of seizures. Here's your medication. And typically, they have to try 2 or 3 different medications to see which ones slow the seizures down the best, but it doesn't get to the cause. So we're going to talk about that, what's causing the seizures. And then also Sierra came in, if you saw our Instagram post. She's a little older, so we can use her name, and she gave us permission yesterday. Hi, Sierra. Hope you see this. She came in with acid reflux and trying not to take medicine, but she had to, or to function. Every morning, this acid reflux, acid would just pour up into her esophagus, and she was miserable. Well, she started care with us just like Gigi did with her seizures, and both of them, their seizures and acid reflux is going away. At the moment, 90 to 95% resolved, and they've both been here for about a month. So ultimately they'll get all the way better, or at least 99% better, but definitely not going the wrong way, definitely not just relying on medications. So how in the world can coming to the chiropractor help somebody with seizures and acid reflux? Well, I'll pretend that I was having seizures, okay? So I'll explain it in a first person sort of point of view. So I'm having seizures. I go take all this medication. I go to the neurologist, and they give me, whatever the drug is nowadays, and they've changed so many times over the years. And my seizures seem to get less intense and less severe, but I'm still having them. So they're not going away. But at least I'm not, going on the ground and, going out and, my body going crazy, like if you've ever seen one of those giant seizures happen. Instead, I'm just kind of like, dozing in and out, 15 to 20 times a day, so we call it a mini seizure or something. Well, I would be happy on one hand that I'm not having the big ones, right? My family would be happy that I'm not having the big ones, but at the same time, I seem to be having to take more and more of this medication to keep these seizures at bay as time goes by. So after 3 or 4 years, I'm taking big, huge doses of this medication, and I don't seem to be getting any better. I'm actually getting worse, just having to take more drugs. And none of these doctors tell me anything about what to do differently, whether it has to do with my spine or nutrition. Well, how would I know to go to Dr. Hooten or somebody like him? And unfortunately, there's very few chiropractors that practice like I do. I wish more people did, but if I was having seizures, how would I know to go to somebody like Dr. Hooten? Well, maybe I see a podcast, which is why we're doing this. But more likely, one of my friends tells me about it, and that's what happened to Gigi. Her friend told her mom, said, look, I know this sounds weird. Go see Dr. Hooten. He's a chiropractor. If there's a problem in her spine, he'll find it, and it'll help. So I go into this chiropractor. They take the x-rays, and sure enough, my neck, which should have a proper curve in it from the side, my curve is bent backwards. And the chiropractor explains to me, hey, your flow in your spinal system between your head and your body is being blocked with your spine this way. So the chiropractor starts adjusting me, my body starts to work, my brain and my body begin to flow better. Oh, and my seizures start going away. And that's what happened to Gigi. She's had days and days where she hasn't had any seizures. How cool is that? Now, did the chiropractor fix or heal her? No. The power that God put in her body is what fixed her, or is what's still fixing her. What the adjustments do is allow that flow to happen. So she had done something to her neck. She didn't know what it was when she was a baby. And the same thing with Sierra. She had a backwards curve in her neck. So it was just sitting in there. It didn't necessarily hurt her. Like, she didn't complain of neck pain. It was just this acid reflux. But clearly this subluxation, this kink in her spine, was keeping her body from working. That's what I'm working on. I'm working on those kinks in the spine to allow the brain and the body to flow. Then the body can begin to shape up and heal itself. Well, think about it this way. If you were to reach in, so your brain is always talking to your body. It's always healing everything. It's telling your hormones how to work. It's telling your thyroid what to do, your heart to beat, your lungs to breathe. It is in control of your physical body. If you took my brain out, everything stops, just like that. Well, if the spinal cord is connecting the brain to everything in your body, if you were to squeeze the spinal cord, so now the brain is interfered with getting to your body, what happens to your body that way? It's not going to be good. I looked at their neck and said, I couldn't predict acid reflux or seizures. I just said, look, with your neck this way, your body can't heal at 100%. We start working on that neck, and boom, their bodies are taking over and healing. Whether it's seizures and acid reflux, high blood pressure to cancer, let me say that again, I'm not curing anything. I'm working on the spine so the body can work better. If you're dealing with something and you want your body to work better, come in and see us. If there's no problem in your spine, I'll tell you, that'll be fantastic. If you have a perfect spine, we'll applaud, and then I'll help you find the next step. Most people come in and they have a problem in their spine. We start to work on that, and their body gets better. I hope that makes sense. So just to reiterate, the only way you can heal, whether it's seizures, acid reflux, to cancer, to hormone problems, the only way you can heal is by your internal body working. Okay, so there's this power that's flowing in you. That's where I come in and help. The other part is like, what kind of nutrition do you put in? So I get this question all the time. What's a good supplement to take? Where should I start? And there are a few basics. In my opinion, in my point of view, there are a few things that all of us should be taking. A good, healthy fat supplement, like omegas, and cod liver oil, that kind of thing. And you want to make sure and get a good, high-quality one. Don't be going to the supermarket and just buying one off the shelf. Talk to somebody that knows what they're talking about. We like Carlson's, and we have a couple of different brands. Max Living, our group makes one. But there's several different companies that make a really good, healthy fat supplement, and that's what omegas are. You probably heard the term fish oil. Those are omegas. And supplementing with a good source of omegas helps a lot of different parts of your body. It's like great food for your garden, if you will. The other thing is mineral drops and minerals. Can you reach up and hand me that blue bottle right there on top? Now, trace minerals are a staple in just about every cell in your body. In fact, every cell in your body, for sure, needs some type of minerals, from magnesium to calcium. Iodine is a big one. A good trace mineral supplement will sort of give your whole body, or think of your body as a garden, it'll give your whole garden a good source of food. And when you take it in a whole spectrum, if you will, like you get all the minerals at once, and your body can sort of assimilate what it needs and get rid of some of the excess. Like iron is a mineral, but if you take iron by itself without the other minerals or without food, there's a risk of throwing your minerals off balance. So we recommend starting with a good trace. You can find this anywhere. A lot of you have seen this on the grocery store shelves. You can order it on Amazon. This is the one that my family uses. Really good supplement to start with. So if you just want to put something good in your body, this is one of my first recommendations. Incidentally, if you're dealing with seizures, one of the things I've found out over the years is that as your brain chemistry gets depleted, okay, because your brain needs minerals, your brain needs healthy fats, your brain needs oxygen, obviously, it needs a bunch of nutrients. As it gets depleted, especially of certain minerals, your tendency to have a seizure skyrockets. And a lot of you that have been, if you've been living with seizures and trying to find a natural answer, you've probably seen things about sodium and that kind of thing helping. But well, think of it. If you're an adult and you have seizures, you know that drinking alcohol radically increases your chance of getting seizures the next day because of the dehydration effect. These minerals will help rehydrate your body. That's not an excuse to go out and get drunk or anything like that. But if you are dealing with seizures, it's a safe bet to say that your brain is running low on minerals. So I would definitely be putting these in every day. I put this in everything we drink. My daughter drinks it. My wife drinks it all day, every day. We put a few drops in every glass. It says take 40 drops. I wouldn't do that all at once because it tastes like crap, and it might give you a little diarrhea that way. But just a few drops in everything that you drink. And there's a couple other mineral brands that are out there that are pretty good. Just do your research, or you can shoot us a message and I'll tell you if they're good or not. So you got healthy fats and omegas, and you got supplements. The other one I would start with is a good vitamin D. We did a lot of vitamin D testing over the years, and we still do periodically. Almost everyone is low. I remember testing 2 people that had adequate vitamin D levels where they were 80 or above. Everybody else was like 20, 30, 40. And in order to prevent a whole host of diseases, and keep your bones strong, you want to keep your vitamin D levels up above 60. So if you know your vitamin D levels, if you've been told it's adequate, go look at that number, and you want to, in my opinion, you want to keep it above 60. That's one big secret that I had around here when COVID hit. We never closed down for a second, and people coming in, no mask or anything, breathing all over me, and I never got sick. I keep my spine well adjusted, just like Gigi and Sierra. I keep my spine flowing. And then I keep a lot of these minerals in me. I take vitamin D every day. I keep my vitamin D. Although I tested it the other day, and I got it for the first time in my life, it was in the 40s. So I got to get it back up to 60s. So I'm taking 20,000 units of vitamin D3 a day. Most vitamin D supplements come with about 400 to 500 IUs of vitamin D. Our Max Living brand, this one has 5,000. We have another one up there that has 10,000. And you want to take this with food. I like to take it with food because you get the other enzymes that help you absorb the vitamin D properly. But I'm taking 20,000 vitamin D every day now to get and then I'm going to test my vitamin D levels again in December at the end of the year to make sure it's above 80. So there you go, seizures, acid reflux, and supplements. If you know anybody with seizures or acid reflux, forward this on to them. Every single person I've had come in with seizures over the years, which it's at least 100 now, they've had a major problem in their neck. Either their neck was bent over backwards or the first bone was shifted multiple degrees out of place, just sitting in there from like a birth trauma or a fall that they had when they were a kid. The x-rays will show us all that. And like I said, if there's no problem in your spine, at least you've ruled that out. Your neurologists aren't going to have any idea what I'm talking about. You don't have to go talk to a neurologist or any other doctor before you come and see us. Let me say that again. You do not have to talk to your doctor before you come and see us. They like to think that way. The TV says go talk to your doctor. Everybody says go talk to your doctor. That's just the culture. Well, go talk to your doctor. Do you really think the doctor is ever going to say go see a chiropractor? In 24 years, nobody has ever walked through these doors and said, hey, my orthopedic said to go get adjusted by you. Or this neurologist said go get adjusted by you. Out of 100 medical doctors and neurologists, 99 of them hate us. They hate the idea of us. They're taught to hate us. They're taught to drug. They're taught to test. Then they're paid to drug. They're paid to treat you. They're paid to test you. They're not going to sacrifice their livelihood by sending you to somebody that can actually help you get well. You don't need anybody's permission. You don't need your family's permission. You don't need any doctor's permission. You don't need a teacher. You don't need a lawyer. You don't need a TV. If you want to get well, we'll show you how to do it. Go watch our videos. You'll see testimonies all over the office. If you guys would y'all just take a quick snapshot of some of the testimonies? People come in with everything. They start taking care of their spine, add some good supplements, and their body starts improving. We'll walk you through the whole process. Just reach out and find us, drhooten.com. Remember, drugs are bad, God is great, and so are you. We'll talk to you next time.